all you cool cats and fine felines. It's Leah and
Lynn.
And today we're in Jonesboro, Arkansas, our hometown. And we're gonna go to Cregeen's Irish Bar, and so follow us. And what are we gonna do?
Get into the groove.
That's right. So we were just informed this place is haunted, so maybe we'll catch a ghost. Let's see.
That's great. Well, this is Cregeen's Irish Pub. I believe it's been here since 2011. The first Cregeen's was in Little Rock, and Cregeen is Gaelic for the small rock. So it was actually named specifically to be an Arkansas pub.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the first one. We have the pit and the mezzanine right there. So this is the up bar. We have two bars in this place. So this is where we have music playing and stuff like that.
Yes.
We'll have live bands at least 2 times a week.
Open mic night.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Poetry, comedy.
I've been to a few of these.
Here we go. Yeah, the building itself has been here since, I believe, the 1920s. Around the turn of the century, there's a really major fire in downtown Jonesboro that leveled pretty much everything you see here. So, and so everything here is made of brick, and it's all about 1920, 1925, I believe. This building's been a lot of things over the years. At one point in time, the last thing it was before this was a furniture store. So all those plate glass windows wrapped around more, and it was a furniture place.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And local legend has it that back during Prohibition, this was a brothel. And we definitely have the ghost of who we believe to be one of the old prostitutes who haunts the place.
Oh.
Yeah, we all call her Trish, and pretty much everyone who's worked here for an extended period of time has had an experience with her, or 10. And besides her, there's probably about another 3 or 4 ghosts who walk around this place on a pretty regular basis. In the kitchen downstairs, there's an angry old man, and we believe he's a war veteran of some kind, but he hates the stairs and the ice machine. So when I've been working in the kitchen before, and everyone who's down there right now has seen the same thing, you'll hang a picture on the edge of like a shelf, you know? It's like you can put it on there and it's not gonna go anywhere. Multiple times I've been looking at it and it just goes pop, and it pops all the way up, it'll hit the ceiling and then fall on the ground.
Wow.
So you've had experiences?
Yeah, yeah, a lot of them here, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the most haunted places in Jonesboro. This one and Brick House across the street, but I think this one has more inviting spiritual
I've heard
energy.
The Forum too.
The Forum too, yeah.
Yes.
The Forum has an old man who used to be a ticket salesman who rides his bike to and from the place still. He's been gone for about, I think he died about 70 years ago, but sometimes people still see him on his old bike dressed the same way to go take tickets.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
is the prostitute Trish, she always dressed the same way as well?
Typically yes. Usually whenever people see her, whenever I've seen her, she looks like she's about 19, 20 years old. She has like a turn of the century type dress on. Her hair is usually parted down the middle, and she always has like a white face and really dark sunken in eyes. But yeah, she's had a lot of different people had experiences with her here. There was one of the first times I just moved here about 3 or 4 months prior. I saw her in the bathroom mirror. I was washing my hands, and all of a sudden I see a shimmer over my left shoulder in the mirror, and it has long women's hair, and I just sort of see her face. So I made the mistake of saying, you know, you don't have to stay here, right? Because I thought she might have been trapped or, you know, whatever. So the next morning I wake up at my house and I just feel like I just want to kill myself. You know, it just, all of a sudden it's just the most crushing, crazy depression all at once, which I'm used to in different ways, but not like that.
Right.
And so I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this. And as I'm looking up at the ceiling, just in my bed, I see the same shimmer again. And it was her. She had followed me back home. So I had to tell her, I was like, you are not allowed in my physical home or my astral space. If you want to stay here and interact with people all you want to, that's your prerogative, but I'm not the only person she's come home with, so I like to say it's like having an elephant in the room. You can talk about the elephant, but don't talk to the elephant. It's usually a really bad idea.
She'll follow you home.
Yeah, she's definitely a bit of a vampire.
So
Like,
if you interact with her, she'll latch herself onto you.
yeah, for sure.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, she's done that with more than one bartender here, more than one cook, and several patrons over the years.
Wow.
And especially, it's especially heavy whenever we have regulars here who pass away, stuff like that. In the last year, we probably had 3 or 4 of them. And on the weekends, either prior or preceding the energy is typically much heavier. Things will get knocked off of shelves. You'll hear footsteps. There was one time I was sitting downstairs after hours. I had closed up very late. It was about 3 a.m. And I was playing music and I heard a piano playing upstairs. Not on the mezzanine where we have a piano, but upstairs. So I turned my music louder and the piano got louder. And as I turned it off, I could still hear the piano playing. But by the time I had walked halfway up the stairs, it just stopped. It's like there was nothing there at all. So I'll show y'all where I heard the piano music at. Yeah. I'll show y'all where the piano music is, then I'll show y'all where probably the most intense one we had was. But
Perfect.
typically, upstairs whenever it's closed, that's typically whenever all the ghosts have their drinks. They're usually pretty copacetic, but just like people, they can get a bit drunk and out of hand. Yeah, these are the bathrooms right here. Typically, the spirit I was telling you about, she usually resides between the bathrooms.
This is where you had your experience.
Yeah, right
Okay,
here
gotcha.
in the men's bathroom right there. And this is the library. All this stuff in here, the scroll work and the pews and things like that, the scroll work at least came from Ireland. So whenever they built this place, they bought all the scroll work and the woodwork and stuff from an auction, and it had actually come from either Dublin or Belfast. I forget which one, but our owner, Connor, his father and all of his family are from Northern Ireland. So they always had a sort of spiritual attachment to all this stuff.
That's great.
So I call this room the holodeck because it's where the wildest shit happens. It's not always like just ghosts too. You can have all kinds of various spirits, and I've done channeling and stuff like that in this room and come out some really, really interesting results for sure. But especially, this is the holodeck right here. There was a couple years back, it was probably 5-10 years ago now, but they had a paranormal investigator come out here, and they stayed in for the night, and they were in this room, and they did the whole, like, if somebody's here, show us you're here, and a couple of the beers, there used to be more, a couple of those old beer cans just knocked themselves off the fucking wall while there were 3 or 4 people here.
I like the painting.
Yeah, she is,
Creepy.
yeah, she stares. I swear sometimes the picture moves, but that's one of those ones I just think it does,
Eyes,
She's looking
the
at me.
eyes. That's what I'm saying. It seems like she's peeked. I can only see one of her eyes.
Attention, you know
I
what I
got
mean?
chills
Like,
almost.
yeah.
I really did.
And I mean, there's been other times, so this room specifically has probably had more individual instances of people like seeing like ghostly or like paranormal stuff. Especially right here under the door during our last Christmas party, there was a set of boots that ended up, I've seen the boots as well, right? But see how you can see a light coming through the door right there?
Yes.
It's from the alleyway back there. So there's been more than one time I was up here cleaning after we had closed down, and I'd see a pair of shoes right there, like boots, wide boots. I'd open it up and there'd be nobody there. I'll show y'all outside right here.
I've been out here.
This is the fire escape. I mean, so, this right here is definitely not the original structure that would have been the fire escape. If you can look right there, that's where there used to be original windows.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Yeah, no,
That's great.
The architecture is very nice. I mean, the ceiling leaks, the roof leaks very badly. So there's a lot of damage inside of it and stuff like that, but they've tried really hard to keep all the facades from the original 1920s buildings intact. And these are the same alleyways they would have had before the fire, too. This is Lexi, these are my friends.
Hi Lexi, I'm Leah, this is Lynn. Our channel is Atomic Hive, look us up.
Nice.
All these, we call these snoogs, these little booths.
Yeah.
All these also came over from Ireland.
They're like little confessional booths.
I know, right?
So,
Yeah, that's what
this is the spot where me and the other bartender downstairs, Jamie, and our friend Todd, who used to work here, had our most intense spiritual experience. It was after 2:33 a.m. we closed down and we were cleaning, and we were just sitting here talking. Jamie, I believe, is right here, and me and Todd are on the other side of the bar looking this way. And you see where this server tray is, right here? This thing is lodged back there. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So while I'm standing here and we're talking to Jamie, the bartender downstairs, I look right here, and there's this blue-green misty cloud that pops up out of here. And then like it's like, you know, it looks like it has presence to it. Then all of a sudden the cloud just goes whoosh. And half a second later, this thing goes fucking flying. Like it hits the fucking thing right here and bounces off of it. Like
so
it went flying.
It comes dead.
Yeah.
It's stuck right there.
Yeah, I mean it's like stuck. Cause I mean like it hasn't moved since. You know, like it's not going anywhere. You know, like. And whenever I looked over at Todd, Todd survived cancer as a child, so he has a bit thinner walls than I do. And I asked him, I was like, did you see that? And before I said electric green cloud, you know, a little ectoplasm thing, he says, you mean the hand that just pulled it? So from where Todd was looking at, and from how he experienced it, he saw a hand, about this much of a hand and wrist, pull the thing out. Okay, so yeah, this is the deck up here. We closed it down because it just wasn't safe. It was too heavy for the roof whenever we have a lot of people in here. And I've never seen as much stuff happen up here. One time our boss got stuck up here for about 12, 14 hours. He was very intoxicated, and there was a meteor shower he came out to watch. So this is back whenever this door right here locked itself, whenever he closed it. And he accidentally locked himself out. And he had to get under the deck so the sun wouldn't hurt him. It was so early. Yeah, by the time he lost his voice yelling for people, by the time he saw somebody he knew, he had to throw chairs off of the roof of this place.
Gosh.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Second-degree sunburns. He said, like, this is pretty much
cool.
the full tour of the place.
That's
I mean,
great.
Especially the second. No problem at all. I'm glad y'all took an interest in this. Like,
yeah. Thanks, Taylor.
Yeah.
It'll be free advertising.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for following us on this little adventure of Cregeens Pub. We actually got to go on a little tour, ghost hunt tour.
Thanks to
Yeah,
Taylor.
thanks to Taylor. And Lexi came along. So if you haven't already,
hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe to Atomic Hive. You can hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when we upload new videos.
that's right. And we do that every week. So until then,
Stay groovy.
and spooky.